Ladies, what if I told you that embracing an ancient philosophy could be your key to peace, power, faster manifestations, embracing your divine femininity, and happiness? Well, let's dive into Stoicism and why it's important for women to have to master their emotions and to master their life. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Sapphire Love. I hope you guys are doing well. Before we go into the video, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who attended my Rise and Strategize class. It was a huge success and it was so much fun, and I really loved educating you guys. And the class was so powerful, and I just loved all the reviews that I got back. And for anyone that missed it, don't worry, because we have another class on this Sunday. All the information is going to be down below. The title of this class is going to be called The Female Ego. The female ego. So if you want to learn how to unlock your divinity, if you want to know how to transmute that ego to your highest divinity to get manifestations. And also we're going to be talking about stoicism in that class. I'm going to actually give you guys the empowerment plan for free if you decide to join this Sunday class. And also I'm back taking male clients again. I stopped at the beginning because but now I'm back taking male clients as long as they're professional and they really want to change their life and they're ready to do the work with me. Like, if you're ready to do the work with me, then yes, by all means, contact me. And yes, I'm doing coaching and I will be doing mentorship soon. So, Sapphire Love! Now, let's continue on with the video. While I was planning this Stoicism video, I was thinking to myself, how am I going to portray this to my girls and guys in the best way? Like, because Stoicism can be a whole lot of jargon sometimes, like even with me, when I was first learning. So I like to do it in a way where you guys can really understand. So the best way I thought to myself was, if I come here and I talk to you guys for a bit, and then I show you like illustrations and visuals, kind of like in a deep dive way of Stoicism. And I was thinking, yeah, I think that's going to be the best way that you guys are going to get it in your head, okay, to stop caring, stop being bothered. Stop being bothered, stop gossiping, stop controlling everything. You worry about yourself. You be a person of virtue. You work on your good character. You go within, meditate, be mindful. Okay? Okay? Have we got that? Okay, cool. So let me be clear. Stoicism is not being cold and it's not shutting off your emotions. It's learning how to master your emotions. And personally, I've always kind of been a stoic woman. Maybe it's my Capricorn moon. I don't know. But last year, I was going through some very tough times and I had nothing else to fall through. And the advice people were giving to me, I just did not have the answers. So I felt helpless. I stumbled across some Buddha teachings and I loved it. And from there, I also stumbled across Stoicism. And when I found Stoicism, it was like a revelation. It felt like I discovered a part of myself, like I discovered a missing part of myself. But let me tell you something. Being a Stoic woman in today's world is not easy. Society trains women to be overly emotional and reactive. And I'll be honest, that has never resonated with me. I've never liked it, and that is not me. I've had friends, women, family members, toxic family members hate that I was a stoic woman. They would hate that I was attached. They would hate that I would pour my energy into things that would actually matter. They would hate that I understood from a young age I don't have control over this, and I'm not going to kill myself just because I don't have control of it. They would hate that I didn't want to gossip about frivolous things. So what does that tell you? More people are siphoning your energy than you realize. Because me being a naturally stoic woman, I got so much hate for that. And then when I actually fell across stoicism, I felt less alone. Because it made me feel like it's okay to be different. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be like this. So I just wanted to say that because stoicism, I hold it close to my heart. When you don't want to gossip, people think you're better than them. And especially me being an attractive woman, people hated my guts. I would have friends, and I know who they are, and I know they're probably watching this. I would have friends try and argue with me, try and think there was a problem just because I wouldn't give them my energy. And let me tell you something. The people that hate that I know how to master my emotions don't know how to master theirs. They don't. They were scared. When I would tell them, and this is why you shouldn't even tell people what you're doing, but when I was friends with them, I would say, I'm learning stoicism. It really resonates to me. It makes me feel less alone. Do you know what this girl said to me? She said, oh my God, you're already bad enough. You're already bad enough. You're already detached. Ugh. Like trying to make it a problem that I'm detached. You have no control over your life. This type of girl is the type of person that had no control over her life. Everything you would say to her, she would take it the wrong way. Like, you cannot even give her constructive criticism without her thinking that you hate her. Without her thinking that, oh my God, I'm the ugliest person in this world. So when she sees someone like me, that I'm not reactive and I don't care, I am unbothered. Me being unbothered, she hated it. Do you know this girl would plant to do things to make me feel bothered? Or she would tell me information about people from my past to make me feel bothered. And when I wouldn't give her that reaction, I would see it in her face. She would feel so small about herself because she can't master her emotions. And that's why I love Stoicism, because it protects you from energy vampires. And let me tell you something, 90% of the world are energy vampires. So if you're watching this video today, you will really benefit from Stoicism. It's going to help your manifestations come in quickly. It's going to even enhance your beauty. Yeah, let's talk about it. Because you're preserving your energy, enhances your beauty. Okay, it enhances your resilience. You master your emotions. Honestly, what are the cons to that? What are the cons? But it's those people that they always want constant access to your energy. They will have a problem with it. Like growing up, who I am now, the person you watch, I was not liked for being me. I was isolated for being me. And the only thing that made me feel understood and maybe stop caring to have this approval from people, to be understood, to not be isolated anymore, was Stoicism. Now I take pride in my purpose. I take pride in who I am. And I understand why God gave me that experience, why God gave me this current experience. I'm still isolated. It's really just online that I get appreciated for who I am. But in real life, people don't like my high vibration and they don't like how I hold myself. So keep watching to discover the secrets of mastering your emotions and your life. Stoicism was birthed from adversity. It began with a disaster that led to immense clarity. The founder, Zeno of Citium, was a wealthy merchant sailing across the Mediterranean when his ship sank in a terrible storm. He lost everything: his wealth, possessions, and livelihood. Yet, this tragic event became the seed for one of the most powerful philosophies ever created. After his shipwreck, Zeno wandered into Athens and found himself in a bookstore. While reading about Socrates, he asked the owner where men like Socrates could be found. The bookseller pointed to a group of philosophers, and Zeno's journey began. From this hardship, Zeno developed Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This story is a profound reminder that from our own worst setbacks, we often find our greatest strength. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Example: imagine going through a breakup or losing a job. Like Zeno, you may feel like your world is falling apart, but through Stoic philosophy, you can shift your mindset to see this as an opportunity for growth. Instead of focusing on what has been lost, you ask yourself, what can I control? How can I use this setback as fuel for my success? Stoicism is built on 3 core pillars: logic, physics, and ethics. Each offers wisdom that we can use to master life. So logic. This pillar teaches us to think clearly and rationally, especially in moments of emotional chaos. For women who often face emotional battles in relationships, work, or friendships, logic can be our anchor. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Logic helps us detach from our emotional narratives and see things as they are, not as we fear them to be. Example, if you're worried that a friend is talking behind your back, logic steps in to ask, how do I really want to react? This allows you to remain composed rather than acting impulsively. Physics. Stoic physics isn't about atoms or science, but about understanding the natural order of the world and accepting what we can't change. The Stoics believed in the idea of fate, that everything happens for a reason, even if we can't see it yet. This ties deeply into the concept of Amor Fati, or love of fate, which means accepting and embracing everything that happens, whether good or bad. Seneca: fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. Example: if you lose a promotion at work or a relationship ends, a Stoic response would be to practice Amor Fati. Instead of resisting or resenting what happened, you accept it fully, knowing it's part of your path. Ethics. Ethics in Stoicism revolves around living in harmony with nature, meaning living in a way that's aligned with our best, most virtuous self. A Stoic woman strives to be courageous, kind, and wise, no matter what life throws her way. The goal is not to react out of ego or emotion, but from a place of deep character. How Stoicism combats the female ego. Let's break down the female ego, which often revolves around insecurity, envy, and the need to compete with others. It can manifest in jealousy, bitterness, and the desire for constant validation. This is destructive, not just to your relationship, but to your divine essence. The female ego pulls you away from your true feminine power, replacing calm and confidence with comparison and emotional chaos. Stoicism teaches us to rise above the female ego. When we embrace Stoicism, we become less concerned with how others perceive us and more concerned on our own self-growth and inner peace. The philosophy teaches us to let go of envy and competition, replacing it with detachment and grace. Example: you see a friend who's thriving. Maybe she's getting the attention you want, or succeeding in ways you're not. The female ego might make you feel inferior or resentful. A Stoic woman steps back and reminds herself that her path is different. She uses the success of others as inspiration, not as a source of insecurity. I'll say that again. She uses the success of others as inspiration, not as a source of insecurity. And the Stoic woman is genuinely happy to see others succeed. Quote from Epictetus: if you want to improve, be content to be taught foolish and stupid. This means that instead of competing for external validation, embrace humility and focus on becoming better for yourself. Applying Stoicism to your everyday life. Judgment. Learn to perceive things clearly. Stoicism teaches that many of our problems come from the way we judge situations. We often make things worse in our minds than they really are. You can apply this daily by asking yourself, am I reacting to reality, or am I reacting to my own emotions? Example: if someone ghosts you after a few dates, instead of spiraling into overthinking and self-doubt, you'd ask, am I assuming the worst? What's the reality here? This gives you the power to remain calm and move forward with grace, rather than feeding the ego with self-doubt. Detachment. In Stoicism, detachment is about realizing that we can only control our actions, not the reactions of others. If you're constantly trying to control how people feel about you or what they do, you'll drain your energy. Instead, focus on how you respond. And just to let you know, control is a major narcissistic trait. So let go of that. The only thing you can control is yourself. A lot of women need to understand this. So much of your problems come from just wanting to control everything. So much of your anxiety comes from control. In Stoicism, it teaches you true happiness comes from controlling yourself. Learn how to control yourself first before you try and control anything else. Learn how to control yourself first before you want to control others. Before you want to come for other people and their bad traits, control yourself. Control how you react. That's all we can do. Example, if you feel disrespected by someone at work or in a relationship, rather than lashing out or obsessing over their behavior or ruminating, you detach. You recognize that you cannot change them. You cannot change them. Listen again, women. You cannot change them. You cannot change that friend. You cannot change your colleague. You cannot change your husband. You cannot change your boyfriend. You cannot change your child. But you can control your reaction. By doing this, you protect your peace. Amor Fati and how it empowers you. Amor Fati, which is Latin for the love of fate, is one of the most powerful Stoic practices, and I personally love Amor Fati. It teaches us not just to accept the events of our lives, but to embrace them fully. Every heartbreak, every challenge, every success is part of the grand tapestry that makes us who we are. By loving our fate, we turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. Quote by Marcus Aurelius: "A blazing fire makes flames and brightness out of everything thrown into it." This means that every struggle you face, you can fuel your inner fire and help you shine brighter. Instead of avoiding difficulties, Stoicism encourages us to lean into them. Lean into your difficulties, knowing that they are shaping us into stronger and wiser women. Example, if you face a setback like being passed over for a job you wanted, rather than feeling defeated, you'd practice Amor Fati. You'd accept that this was meant to happen and look for the opportunity hidden in it. Maybe it frees you to pursue something better, or maybe it teaches you a lesson about resilience. Either way, you embrace it fully. Female Stoicism is the key to mastering both your mind and your emotions. It teaches us to rise above the noise, overcome the female ego, and embrace the power of Amor Fati. Through logic, detachment, and emotional mastery, you can navigate life's toughest challenges while staying connected to your divine femininity. Stoicism promotes emotional mastery and rational thinking. The idea that you should respond to situations with calmness and clarity rather than allowing emotions like anger, jealousy, or fear to dictate your actions. And usually reactivity comes from a place of weakness. Reacting impulsively usually stems from a lack of control over your emotions. When you're reactive, you're allowing external events or people to dictate how you feel and behave, which gives away your personal power. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of internal strength, the idea that you can control your response, not the world around you. Okay, you cannot control the world around you, but you can control your own response. So imagine someone insults you at work. If you react impulsively, you might lash out, say something you'll regret, or even damage your reputation. Stoicism teaches you to pause, assess the situation, and respond calmly, which allows you to keep your power and control over the situation. And reactive behavior clouds your judgment. Reacting emotionally, especially in high-stress situations, clouds your ability to make sound and rational decisions. When emotions take over, your logic is pushed aside, leading to impulsive actions that often make the situation worse. Seneca: "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." This means that our emotional reaction often causes more harm than the original situation we're reacting to. Example, think about a time when you sent a heated text or email in the moment of frustration, only to regret it later. Had you taken a moment to calm down, you likely would have responded more effectively and avoided unnecessary drama. You cannot control others, only yourself. A central Stoic principle is that you cannot control external events, or other people. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You cannot control external events or other people. But guess what you can control? You can control yourself. You can control how you react to them. Reacting emotionally to things outside your control is pointless and exhausting. The Stoics call this focusing on your circle of control. And guys, why this is exhausting and there's no point in this is bad things are going to happen. It is life. It's going to rain. When it rains, are you going to punch the wall? Or are you going to accept the fate? We accept it. We know that, oh, it's raining. Okay, yes, it may ruin our plans, but we will understand, oh, it's raining. It will pass. Just like the bad times, it will pass. Emotions are fleeting. You cannot control the outside. You cannot control external things. You cannot control if someone says something mean to you that day. You cannot control if someone cheats on you. You cannot control if your child wants to do something that you don't like. You cannot control outside sources. You control yourself. The Stoics call this focusing on your circle of control. Example. If someone cuts you off in traffic and you react by yelling or getting angry, that anger doesn't change the situation. The Stoic approach would be to let it go because it's outside of your control. By remaining calm, you avoid unnecessary stress and keep your peace of mind intact. Reacting gives power to others. When you're reactive, you're essentially handing over your power to someone else. They dictate how you feel and behave. Not you, they do. Stoicism teaches that the real power lies in not allowing external factors to control your internal state. Quote from Epictetus: "It is not the event that disturb people. It is their judgments concerning them." The Stoics believed that our interpretation of events, not the events themselves, causes emotional distress. If you change your perspective, you change your emotional experience. And this is what I've been saying. Women love to ruminate. Women love to live in the past. Okay, this is happening. What can I do now? Accept it and move on. Stop living in the past. You are replaying your trauma. You are replaying what that person said to you. You are replaying the bad things. Example. In a heated argument, if you react angrily, you're giving the other person the power to control your emotions. However, if you stay calm and composed, you maintain control, and the situation can be de-escalated, or you can just walk away because what they're saying doesn't define you. You define you, not them. Reactivity creates chaos. Stoicism creates order in your life by teaching you to take a step back, pause, and respond in a way that aligns with your long-term goals and values, rather than being driven by fleeting emotions. Example, in relationships, reacting emotionally to small issues often turns minor problems into bigger ones. If you adopt a stoic approach and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting, you avoid unnecessary conflict and maintain harmony. Another thing I would like to add on to this is, if you're in a relationship and you're always reacting to the small things but you're never leaving, you are creating chaos in your life. You are making yourself miserable. And that complaining can actually turn into a bigger issue. A stoic approach would be to observe the situation. Okay, what I'm complaining about, am I going to leave? Is the person going to change? Do I want better? You need to stop, pause, and ask those questions. Okay, what he did to me doesn't define me. If he cheated on me, if he left me, that does not define me. That's his problem. That's him. I can't control him. That has nothing to do with me. You have to be indifferent to pain. Indifferent to pain. Okay? And then you assess what you need to do instead of complaining all the time, instead of trying to control the situation all the time. Stop judging a situation over and over and over again. Stoicism teaches us that most of our misery comes from us judging a situation. You have to be indifferent to pain. You have to accept that this is your fate and use logic. Being reactive is emotionally draining. Constantly reacting to every little thing drains your emotional energy. Stoicism encourages detachment from things beyond your control, which helps preserve your emotional well-being. When you react less, you conserve your mental energy for things that truly matter. One thing about me, I am like the least reactive person ever. I mastered this to the T. Why it's stupid to react and why it's stupid to be reactive, you give away your power. Reacting impulsively hands control of your emotions to others. You make poor decisions. Emotions cloud judgment, leading to irrational actions. You increase your suffering. Reacting creates more emotional distress than the situation itself. You drain your energy. Constantly reacting is exhausting, leaving little energy for important tasks. So by mastering your reactions, you gain control over your life. Stoicism teaches us that by remaining calm, detached, and rational, we are better equipped to handle life's challenges with grace and power. And Stoicism doesn't mean you're cold. No, it doesn't mean that. Because I used to have a friend that would hate on Stoicism because I was learning Stoicism. I've been learning about Stoicism for a while now. And I had a friend that would have some things to say about Stoicism. And she would say, you know, you're cutting off your emotions, you're being cold. No, that's not what Stoicism is. We're humans. We came down here to have a human experience. So of course, we're going to have emotions. However, it's about managing your emotions. We're not meant to be ruled by our emotions. That's not what we came here to do. We are not meant to be ruled by our emotions. Our emotions are just meant to be a signal. But we are not meant to be ruled by it. And with Stoicism, it teaches us to walk in a way of virtue. It teaches us to walk in a way of divinity. That's what it teaches us. I still have my personality. I still have my personality. However, I apply the Stoic principles. And let me tell you something. Ever since I've been practicing Stoicism, I have been more divine. I've been more in my goddess energy because that is a true goddess. A true goddess is a stoic woman. A goddess isn't someone that can control her emotions. That's not what a goddess is. That's not what a divine woman is. To be in your real divine femininity, you have to control your emotion. I guess I've always naturally been a stoic woman and always naturally applied stoic principles to my life. And I've always been an alchemist. However, during last year with my hard times, when I was in hermit mode and I fell upon Buddha teachings and I fell upon Stoicism teachings, or just Stoicism, it teaches you how to lead by example instead of trying to impose on others, desperately trying to impose on others, trying to critique others. We come together and we have so much to say about this woman, but what are you doing? What are you doing? There is no benefit to that type of talk. It teaches you to go within. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no time arguing what a good woman should be one. Rather than making decisions based on popularity or being liked or perception, make decisions based on your virtue, your character. Also, with Stoicism, it teaches us temperance, so we shouldn't lean towards extreme. So we need to be graceful instead of lashing out. And yes, you can be graceful and assertive. You can be graceful and have boundaries. You can have boundaries without lashing out. As Beyonce said, always stay gracious. The best revenge is your paper. And honestly, that is correct because even when you're going towards your paper, you have to focus on yourself. You have to work on yourself. If you're striving towards success, you're pouring into you. And that annoys people. Honestly, that's the best revenge because you're pouring into yourself. You need to lead by inspiring people. Okay? I want women to inspire other women. Stoicism teaches women to walk in a way where you inspire other women. A stoic woman doesn't demand for attention. A stoic woman naturally commands attention. Instead of wallowing in her sorrow, a stoic woman uses her previous bad experiences to transmute it to a lesson. And she uses those previous bad experiences to inspire the people around her. But most importantly, herself. If you're really passionate about something that you overcame, why don't you get involved in activism? Why don't you go online, go to your local community, go to your youth centers, search a cause that you can speak out and inspire other people. Have a voice. Have purpose, which is something that Stoicism talks about a lot, which is easier said than done. However, it could align you closer to your purpose. Another thing I love about Stoicism is that it mentions death a lot. And I know what you're thinking. Ooh, death. No one wants to talk about it. Why Stoicism talks about death is it reminds us that we could die at any moment. So, take pleasures in the simple things in life. Stop worrying about everything because you cannot control it. You have to be detached. So, it's quite the paradox, isn't it? People think that when we apply Stoicism and when you are detached, you are unhappy, you're cold. But actually, when you are detached, you actually are more happy. You actually have more inner peace. But then it also reminds you to be aware that these things that we get pleasure from may not always be permanent in our life. So it teaches us to love the simple pleasures in life while not taking things for granted. Basically, you have to see everything as a tool. You have to see everything as a bonus for your virtue, for your good character. Okay, guys? And just a reminder again, there's still limited availability for my Zoom class this Sunday on the female ego, and I will be speaking on Stoicism as well and divinity in the class. And if it's your first time watching, welcome to the community. Subscribe, it's free. And don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can be updated on when I post next. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week and stay blessed. Bye.